For the ocean kayaker, Los Angeles County South Bay offers a canvas of surf, sand, and rock. Let's do some exploring. Sheltered by the breakwater, King Harbor in Redondo Beach offers calm waters and a variety of aquatic life. For kayakers, there's a small dock next to the Seaside Lagoon, just south of Barrel on Harbor Drive. The parking lot has a low flat rate for kayakers, and you can drive directly out to the dock for loading and unloading. Windy days are not the best for ocean kayaking, especially using a sit on top, where there is no protection from the elements. It was too dangerous to go out into the open ocean, so we decided to stay in the harbor, but even that had problems. It was hard to get off the dock because of all the waves, so Dennis was kind enough to help me out, and I started out into the bay. And once I got out there, I realized that I couldn't go back to the dock because the dock was bouncing up and down due to the waves. And if I tried to land there, I would have been smashed against the dock. So I decided to keep going and possibly go over to where the larger boats were docked and where the water would be calm. As you can see here, it was a bit difficult to stay up, and that's because I'm being buffeted from waves on all sides. You can see in the background how the waves are crashing over the breakwater. I don't know the exact height of these waves, but they were very big. Here you can see, looking south, how the water is being churned by the high winds. It wasn't cold because when you're kayaking in these kinds of conditions, you actually generate a lot of heat, and if that heat is within your life jacket, you're actually quite warm. The kayak you see here is actually designed for long-distance kayaking as well as for surfing. Unfortunately, it's not real stable. You have to keep moving, especially if you're being buffeted by waves. It seemed to take forever to get to the northern part of the marina. I was also beginning to wonder if I might be capsized before I got to calm waters. I probably could have gotten back on the boat, but it would have been a cold paddle into the marina. Here again you can see the waves crashing against the breakwater. Well, we're finally getting near to the marina, or near to the northern part, but it's still a ways. Closer. Okay, and that's a harbor patrol boat on the left. A little bit more. Finally, we're getting into calmer waters here. And getting near the boat dock. Now getting it out of the water. Dennis, our cameraman, was kind enough to help me finally get it out of the water. But on a calm day, with friends and family, kayaking around King Harbor is very relaxing and can also be a great workout.
So, Tasha, how are you enjoying
Even dogs are welcome.
Awesome day!
It's an awesome day. We're out here on the water.
And I are out on the water on a Saturday of a holiday weekend.
With Richard and Tasha and Axel and Cameron.
And there are other interesting creatures, although you best keep your distance from them. This is definitely better than being in a windstorm.
And were Golden Eyes is considering jumping overboard? And over here behind me, we have Wyland's famous whale mural.
Kayaking in the harbor here?
Absolutely.
And you never know just whom you may meet.
Isn't that great? That's super.
Malaga Cove is the first stop for kayaking off and around the Palos Verdes Peninsula. After reaching Malaga Cove Plaza on Palos Verdes Drive West, turn down Via Corta, then Via Arroyo, and park in the free lot next to the school. Carry your boat down the service road and along the path at the foot of the cliffs to the beach for launching. This is a great beach for launching because it's flat, with very few rocks. Getting out into the surf basically means timing the waves so that you get on the boat when the waves are not crashing on you. It takes a little while getting used to, but once you get on, you'll be okay. The trick here is to, once you're on the boat, is to paddle forward, do not stop. If you stop, the waves may simply throw you back onto the shore. Now, the boat will generally ride right over these waves, even though it looks like they're going to hit you in the face. Once past the surf line, the ocean is actually very calm. On the left there is the old Palos Verdes Swim Club, which is now in use. Okay, sometimes you have to sit there in the water waiting for the waves to come. Okay, now we can see some waves coming in, so we're going to start to paddle toward the shore and try to pick one up. As the wave picks up the boat, it starts to move faster and faster. The trick, though, is keeping it pointed directly at shore. Otherwise, it turns into the waves and can be overturned. How long you stay out really depends upon your strength and how cold the water is. Most of the time, though, if you're on top of the kayak, you're really not in the water and really don't get cold, especially with the life jacket and the helmet and gloves. These are really mild waves. At times of the year, it's actually they're actually much higher. Okay, now we start the surf run. Faster and faster. You can see the shore coming up fast. And the boat turns to the side and gets hit. Okay, let's try this again. Now, we're looking back at the waves, and looks like they're coming. We're paddling, trying to catch the power curve. Now we've got it. This is going to be a good ride. Except that we are now in a bad position, and oops, underwater. Well, that was enough for one day.
Just sit on top. So tandems and singles.
Okay. And are they difficult for a novice to paddle if they've never paddled before? Can you show them in a few minutes to?
Sure. We chose ones that are wider than normal.
Let's go take a look. So we have here a Cobra Explorer.
Which is a great boat for people that want to fish. We don't encourage that, but we chose them because they're wider. So when you're fishing, you're leaning all over and you got to stay in the boat. So we don't have many people flipping these. And when they do flip them, they can swim back into them and start all over again.
Right.
So we don't have to run out and rescue them like if we had rented them a true sea kayak.
And they all have life jackets, right? They're required to wear them.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then you have doubles as well?
Doubles, yeah.
Okay.
And we like putting, if they have similar experience, we put the heavier person in the back so it acts straighter.
Okay.
But we'll put a lighter person in the back if that person has more kayaking experience so they can sort of keep it under control. So we'll juggle them around a bit.
So from here, how long you would think it would take to get out to where the seals were out there in the harbor?
Ooh, in a kayak, only about 10 minutes. In a pedal boat, about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I have one more combo kayak that's a lot of fun, a lot faster. That's pretty stable. We have one racing stand-up paddleboard with a kayak kit on it.
Wow.
So I'll yank that off and show it.
Let's take a look at that.
Okay. Yank it too hard. Which were inappropriate for beginners. But at the same time kayaking took off, the windsurfing industry was dying. They made these kits to convert windsurfers into sit-on-top kayaks.
My God, how about that?
But they set it up so that it had an Olympic-style seat and then a footboard that you can push on. And they actually made it so you could put a tiller bar steering like an Olympic kayak and an over-the-stern rudder, which we didn't do on this. But when these came out, like 15 years ago, I bought a slew of them for our other shop. So I still have about 4 of these units left brand new from 15, 20 years ago. Anyhow, so we took a racing stand-up, which only the most experienced renter will want to use because it's skinnier than the other stand-ups. But when you sit on it, it's killer stable, it takes very little effort, and it just has a phenomenal glide.
Wow.
And so we can rent it if we run out of kayaks, or we have a kayaker that wants a little more sporting, we can send them out in this, or we can rent it out as a stand-up. So it does both.
Wow, that is, what an innovation.
It doesn't. I can't sell them. You know, I've had these things sitting around forever, but for here it's really great. Plus, I like paddling to Malaga Cove. And if it's rough, I'll take a kayak paddle and I'll use this and go out sitting down. If it's flat, I grab a stand-up paddle and I take it out as a stand-up.
Wow.
So it gives you both options. And the funny thing is that downwind, this thing's faster stand-up. I guess because your body acts like a sail. Upwind, it's faster as a kayak, sitting down.
Wow.
So you get the best of both. I guess the trick would be have like a snap-on blade. So. We still rent more kayaks than stand-ups. So rental-wise, the kayaks are doing better than the stand-ups. But as far as people bringing their own stuff, unless there's a fishing tournament of some kind, you'll see more privately owned stand-ups than kayaks now.
Okay.
But when their bite's on or word gets out, somebody catches a halibut, then there's like 30 fishing kayaks floating around, the sit-on-top style.
Okay.
But she'd be gone the next day, and she lasted 6 days?
Saturday. I think she died on Saturday.
This is like 6 days.
I think they
she had enough energy that when they would try to rescue her, she'd get away from them. But her whole
It was a pretty good.
it was the worst I've seen with one still alive.
Great. Okay.
So there's only one bait boat for the two areas. This area used to have its own. Now, if you're paddling, follow that break wall down to the yacht club, and you'll get to that area where it's real pretty.
Okay. Wow.
And if you paddle, you'll see where it drops off. If you paddle that edge, that's where you're more likely to spot different kinds of sea life.
Okay. Great.
Paddle. It's a little bumpy crossing here, but once you get up near the rocks, it's, with the prevailing wind coming this way, it's almost always sheltered and calm, and it also breaks the wind. So it's a nice little hangout. If you're an experienced kayaker, you'll want to go somewhere else. Do you know what I mean?
Right. For beginners who haven't tried this before, a wonderful experience.
Right.
Come up here, having sea life, seeing all the yachts up there, the shallow with the sea life, and then you can get up near the entrance and feel the power of the ocean, and also the helicopters like this one just coming up to us.
Us over to the break wall. We're going to look for Garibaldi's first. That's our state fish.
Okay.
Looks like a giant goldfish, or if you've seen Nemo, it looks like Nemo, but it's all orange. They hide in the rocks, so when I get there, you got to lean forward and look down through the glass.
Okay.
To us now. Look at this. Actually, they're feeding them. Yeah, that's it. Wow. Hundreds and hundreds of feet. They love this fish food. Yep. Well, obviously they know where their bread is buttered here.
This is a school of smelt right here. They look like anchovies, but their mouths are much smaller. Normally they eat plankton in just the top layer of the ocean. The green fish with one white dot on each side of their back are called opal eyes. They actually have blue eyes, but those white dots are like an opal. And I believe those white dots are to trick pelicans. So when a pelican's flying over, they incorrectly think that the fish already sees them. So they just give up and fly past them.
Wow, what a evolutionary development.
My favorite defense are the smelts, though. You know what a smelt does when it's being chased by a sea lion?
No idea.
It swims next to another smelt and hopes that one gets eaten.
Very good. Wow, they love this.
Old Marineland Aquarium, which operated from the 1950s to the 1980s. The Terrania Resort is a luxury golf and hotel complex. Located just east of the Point Vicente Lighthouse, it also has a launch point for kayaking that is open to the public, along with free parking. You can participate in guided tours through the hotel or bring your own boat. White Point, Royal Palms County Beach, is located on Paseo del Mar, just south of the end of Western Avenue in San Pedro. After paying a $7 parking charge, you drive down the steep grade to the parking lot abutting the beach and rocks. There is a protected lagoon that fills up at high tide, making it easier to get your boat into the water, paddle over to the channel, and then out into the open ocean. Cabrillo Beach on Stephen M. White Drive, just east of the intersection of South Pacific Avenue and West 36th Street in San Pedro, offers a choice of bay or ocean launching. On the ocean side, the waves can vary from almost placid to roaring. But once past the surf line, this area offers magnificent coastline views and kelp beds rich with life. The beach is flat, making entry easy as long as the waves are accommodating. And just as on other beaches, what you have to do is keep paddling once you start to enter the waves. On the right, there are many beautiful cliffside homes. On a beautiful day, there's nothing like this place. Paddling through the kelp beds takes a bit of effort, but it's such a beautiful place. On the left are ruins of, I think, what was once a hotel. The kelp beds have grown tremendously as the amount of pollution in the area has been reduced. We managed to get in a little bit of surfing this day, although the waves weren't very high at all. Almost in. Just a few feet to go. Finally hitting the beach. Thank you for watching Ocean Kayaking in the South Bay.